Hello, welcome to the 9th day of August 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is a live video exercise that I do here from the balcony of my room here in Japan. I do this to think about my life. This is a journal entry, so to speak. I also reconcile my last 24 hours against the values proposed and described in my book, Going Alone, which you can read for free at goingalone.org. I go over the objectives of my creed, I review one of the principles, and I plan for the coming day. But first, hello to new subscribers. Boy, I got another big wave of you in the last 48 hours. If you're new, so let me just do a quick introduction and bio real quick. If you're new, my name is Kurt. I'm known as softypapa here on YouTube and eBay and elsewhere. Just simply means that I'm Softy's papa. Softy is was my daughter's nickname when she was small. She's 24, almost 25 now, so all grown up. You live here in Japan, like I said. I've been retired for about 7 months now. I live here with my wife. She's the same age as me in this little house that we bought here in the Japanese countryside. This was indeed an akiya, as they say, formerly an empty house that we purchased and have made our home. Every morning I make this video in which I'll talk about my own life. I also make a video once a day called Retiring in Japan. It's a series, a daily series as well, although whereas this video is live, the Retiring in Japan is a composite of clips that are put together from the preceding 24 hours, sharing the events as they unfold in the day. That's why I call it Retiring in Japan, using the active verb, not retired in Japan. So you can count on pretty reliably those two videos every day on my channel. The Retiring in Japan video and this video roughly upload around the same time every day, but you can very distinguish for their purpose. This video is my own personal video, so I'm at liberty to discuss anything I want, to go talk as long or as short as I want, to be as comprehensive in my discussion as possible. I do welcome people to observe, although I must confess that I initially started out using this live venue less as a means to conveying information and more as simply a mechanism to ensure I did a better job. Because if I knew if someone might watch the video, I would be compelled to think more completely and explore my issues and my successes more comprehensively, so that I can learn from and improve upon the former and build upon the latter. You can leave comments if you want. I won't read them until I'm done, though. And you can offer any observations you like, criticisms you like. I'm open to hearing whatever you have to say. I say that I started off doing this for a rather selfish reason, but to help me to improve upon the job that I'm doing in making this video. But over time, I've gotten so much feedback. It's been years now that I've been doing this every day, that these videos seem to sometimes, if anything, show other people that we all suffer, we all fail, we all stumble and fall, and misery kind of appreciates company. So I'm glad that that's the case. I'm glad that other people can benefit from my experiences, both positive and negative, and at least that you're not alone if you're suffering and enjoying similar. Oh, I almost forgot. I like to do a quick weather check as well in the midst of all of this. Look at that. It's 24 at must be about 5:35 a.m. It is now 24 degrees Celsius and 81% humidity. Nicely in the green in temperature, in the red in humidity. Humidity should be dropping, and then temperature should be rising. Although not too bad. The weather says we're going to have a pretty nice day, so hopefully we'll have some relief. Apparently, Shizuoka was the hottest prefecture in Japan 2 days ago, which sure did feel like it. But these summers, they're bad, but they're not as bad as I was imagining. I don't have an air conditioner in my room here, so I'm getting through the summer with just a fan, even though my wife offered me to use her room next door, which she's not using currently, which has a beautiful beautiful air conditioner. I'm not using it. But it's not as bad, and I think it's because of all those 3 years that I spent in the desert, acclimating myself to extremes. All right, so that's my way of introduction. Hey there, new subscribers. I'm grateful to those who watch my videos, especially grateful to those who are members of my channel and those who support me on Patreon. By the way, members and Patreon supporters, you do have discount codes that you can use that are forever. They're good forever in my fourth wall eBay store. I always say eBay, YouTube store. They don't work in the eBay store. So feel free to shop all you want and use your codes. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So actually, some of you have started to do that. It's good to see sales going through using those codes, knowing that my Patreon supporters and YouTube members are using them. All right, so let's, I keep notes, and so I've gone through the first part, the greeting, disclaimer, and thanks. Now let's move on to the last 24 hours. I keep careful notes every day of what transpired, namely to identify the high points and the low points so that I can reflect upon them today at this point. So the only note that I have from yesterday is this simple sentence: a solid day of work. I worked really hard yesterday. It was really kind of the first day that I kind of really had a sense of structure to the day. Let me grab my little board, which I used to use this all the time when I lived in the United States, and I would sit there at my little table and do things. But I have this here in Japan, but I rarely ever use it when I'm doing this. It helps sometimes to lay things out. So a work day for me now, not a walk day, but a work day, consists of doing basically from I start work in earnest about 8 o'clock. No, let's say 8:30. This is helpful because I really didn't think about this for 8:30 a.m. start work. Now, in fact, I get up at 4. I've been doing a lot since from 4 to 8:30. But I wind in my good morning, my radio exercise with the neighbors, which I'll be doing in about an hour. Then dog walk with Yumiko and the dogs, and then breakfast. And usually about 8:30 I'm done. But I've got a lot of water under the bridge by 8:30 in the morning. So now my goal for the morning is to do 2 things, and I'm just going to put those as bullets. List 1 antique. So, and like I said, I've already got a lot done. I've already done all of the photography and videos already. This is the antique I'm going to list. It's a Meiji period, 1868 to 1912 zone, Meiji Emperor period ceramic dish with the visage of none other than Daikoku, the god of good fortune from the Shinto pantheon. You see that face? So I've already got that listing ready to go. This is the antique item that I'm going to list in my store. I'm also going to list 1 inventory item. And the inventory item that I'm going to list today are these small bags of rice crackers. I'll probably be selling these. They're so small, in like bags of like 3 or 4. Well, gee, there's a giant. That's a big old killer hornet. Let's see if I can get that on film. A murder hornet. Right, here he comes. Let's see if we can get that. Where'd you go? It's right down there in that footage, hunting. This is my backyard, by the way. So, well, that's that guy's house. He rarely comes there. He lives in the city and comes out here. Sometimes on the weekends he wants to retire here. But this is the bamboo forest, and there's a murder hornet hunting right in there. Yeah. I'll keep my eyes open. So anyway, the bag of this is the local. It depicts a famous scene here in Shizuoka, just over this mountain right here. These Hagoromo pines at Miho no Matsubara, and where you have the beautiful view of Mount Fuji. And there's a legend of the goddess that takes off her clothes and goes for a swim, and the fisherman then holds her robe of ransom until she'll sing the celestial song. It's a very famous story here in Japan. Just took place right over there. Anyway, these are senbei rice crackers seasoned with very subtle seasonings that are reminiscent of that, made by Bourbon, very big manufacturer of senbei here. Anyway, I'm going to list that today. I guess you're going to call that a commercial. So that's what I'm going to do. My morning work from 8:30 a.m. to noon lunchtime. And really, it's more like 11:30. We usually start our lunchtime. So let me be more accurate about that. 11:30, lunch. Now, we take care of my elderly father-in-law's lunch every day by taking him out, or we have lunch together with him at his house. That's a long process. We start that process around 11:30, and that completes around 1:30. So I would say it's a long lunch, 2-hour lunch break. But hey, one of the benefits of being retired is you can take a long lunch break every day if you want. But we're doing good stuff during that time. Now, from 1:30 until basically 5, yeah, let's say 5. 1:30 to 5, I'm working again, shipping. Now I'm trying to set up my business in such a way that I have only one order to ship every day. That's going to help to reduce the complexity. That's where things really get twisted and tied up is when you're doing your shipping for a business like mine. I'm an online merchant. I do antiques and merchandise, as you saw me just describe. So I do shipping just one item, hopefully. And I also work on anything related to the store. Like yesterday, I was working on accounting yesterday, certified. And that's basically my work day. Yesterday was, per my note here, was a solid day of work. I really worked well yesterday in accordance with this plan. It was a solid day of work. In fact, I shipped 2 orders, so that was good. And in the process, I learned something about shipments to the European Union that require some extra information that I didn't know before. So I was edified as well. But I actually ended up working after dinner, came upstairs and worked into the evening on the accounting part of the business. And I'm trying to do a very good job of keeping track of my numbers this time. I was an antique dealer before and I failed, and I'm trying to do a better job with everything now, and that's important too. Good day of work. So what am I telling you all this for, right? Because if you watch these, sometimes you know that I'm not here to tell stories. I'm here to describe how I'm doing with the extraordinary moments in life, good or bad. The reason that's important is that it illustrates that I got back on my feet. If you watch these videos, you know that on Thursday, the day prior, today's Saturday, on Thursday I had a big failure in my life. I mean, it's not a giant failure. I stumbled, with regard to getting my Japanese driver's license, and it's going to take me 3 months to recover from that. And that really knocked me down. A Thursday afternoon was a bad day. I was really flat on my back. So the reason that's important was that yesterday I had a solid day of work. I had a good day, and I don't need to give any details because I don't like to share about others, but there was someone else in my life that had a similar bad day on Friday to the one that I had on Thursday, which I was able to offer them commisery by virtue of the fact that nearly the same thing happened to them that happened to me. And I was like, well, I'm kind of glad that what happened to me happened, because it gave me an opportunity to offer some solace to someone, saying, hey, you're not alone. So that was good. Yeah. Making lemonade, right? Okay, let's go over my creed. My creed consists of the following 8 objectives. Again, you can read about them in Going Alone in the chapter titled The Good Life. I want to be always ready to die. That means I have my affairs in order, my relationships in good shape, and my life's work complete. And they are. So yes, I am ready to die. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of my time so that I'm not wasting my days. Number 3 is to develop and maintain good and sound life principles so that I have a good creed. Oh, there's a hornet right there. Just went by. A good creed to abide, and an epistemology by which I can ascertain truth. 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions so that I'm responding well throughout the day as best I can. Number 5 is performing good actions relative to my values. Number 6 is to do just one thing at a time and do that. No, number 6 is to recognize my true limits and true opportunities so I know what is and what is not within my scope of possibility. And number 7 is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. And number 8 is to maintain my balance in both body and mind. For my principle today, I'm going to read the Season of Philosophy from Going Alone. This would be principle number, it's in the 20s, I think, 28. The Season of Philosophy, page 270. And there's a quote to open with by Seneca the Younger. Philosophy wields her own authority. She appoints her own time and does not allow it to be appointed for her. Think, and this is my writing now, think and remember the season of philosophy, describing a time of life for reflection and thought, which can come in spurts and spurts, and it can be an entire season of life. It can come of maturity, it can come of immaturity, it can come of disposition, it can come of inspiration. Here we go. Think and record your thoughts while you can. See how the sun is fading now, dropping near the horizon. You will not survive the coming night. If you fail to record your words today, right now, they will never come again. Or maybe, if the words arrive again in some new form, some distant day hence, will you have the body, will, or constitution to record what you hear? Will your mind still function well enough to put the words together in the correct order? Will you have enough energy then for the effort? Will your hands perhaps tremble too much, or your medicine dull your nerves, or your broken self simply refuse to cooperate? Will you remain tuned to the muse? These are very real risks. So instead, keep a pad and pencil handy now, or a recorder or camera. Pull yourself aside when the muse speaks. Attend to her words and prepare your thoughts and philosophy as best you can while you can. The season of philosophy is a time not to be missed. When the moment strikes, come out of doors from whatever your sanctuary of work is, and attend to the moment. Record in whatever way you possibly can, if words and ideas or visions are appearing, so to speak. Now, I'm speaking in visions, right? What I mean simply is when you have some idea, when you have a painting that you want to paint, or words or poetry that you want to write down, or just a few words that you want to jot down into a notebook. Do it while they're there, because they won't be there for long. That is the season of philosophy, and thus the urgency to compose and record while you can, even if it's all in vain. Okay, as for the next 24 hours, it's a Saturday, so I don't have to work today, but I will. I'm going to make it a working day. We do have, remember the neighborhood Boca Ball, or whatever it's called? We won the tournament 2 weeks ago. Well, we've got a practice run today that I'm going to attend. We missed it last week because our daughter was here. And then we have the tournament, I think, is the following week. That's it. That's my plan for today. Let's read comments. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Ray. Ray reports in Washington, 24C, and for Washington State, that is. 24C and 48 doesn't get much better. 24 and 48, wow, yeah, you're totally in the green right there. Thanks for reporting in, Ray. Tim says, good morning. Weather check in the UK at 9:40 p.m., 16.1 C. That's pretty nice. Just a little bit under the green. And 62% humidity. Nice green there. Fourth heat wave forecast for next week. Too bad. Robert says hi to, hello Robert. Robert says hi to Ray and Tim. Tim says hi to Robert. Robert says currently 29C and 47 humidity. That's pretty hot on the temperature side, and pretty nice on the humidity side. With an air quality index of 108 due to smoke from forest fires out west. Wow. Dustin Catkins. Hello, Dustin. Welcome. Greetings. It's nice to have you here. How are things in Idaho? I love Idaho. I've got almost settled in Boise when I was a kid, and then again as an adult. Instead of coming to Japan, we almost went to Boise. Robert says hi to Dustin. Tim says, funny. I thought of you yesterday, Kurt, whilst on my way to an eye test appointment, thinking, hope they don't find a cataract or something. My brother was diagnosed with a cataract last year. Yeah, I hope the test goes well. My cataract in my left eye certainly is a pain in the butt. I was thinking about this the other day. I had a cataract in my right eye, which was treated a few years ago, and I was basically couldn't see anything. I was thinking, Tim, if I close my right eye now, I can't read on the left eye. If it wasn't for modern medicine, I'd basically be functionally blind right now. I wouldn't be able to read at all in both eyes. Thank goodness for science, huh? Science. Tim says, luckily, all okay. However, vision has deteriorated, so new glasses again. I'm glad you're okay, and hopefully get some good stylish glasses that suit you well. All right, well, made it to the end of comments, made it through my meditation. I've already got the listing information done for this plate. Now I'm going to work on the listing. I'll finish this now. Big butterfly. I'm going to finish I'll work on the listing for the new senbei for the store. Like I said, I think I'm going to list these because they're so small. It's a good drinking senbei, right? Have a bottle of beer and pop open a bag of this. Maybe I'll sell these by 4 or 5 in a pack or something like that. We'll see. I'll work on it. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe, and see you again. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, by the way. Hold on. See another comment. Robert says, I observed in Cuba that many of those employed at the resorts had the beginnings of cataracts due to the constant sun exposure. Oh, really? You've been to Cuba? Wow. Have a great day. I don't know if it was more amazing the observation or the fact that you've been to Cuba. Wow. I guess it's not so hard anymore. I guess it was never so hard for Canadians, right? Have a great day. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Robert. Take care. Bye-bye.